Guests have to wear goose-down parkas to step into the Belvedere ice room. It's kept at minus 30 degrees, a perfect chill to sample vodkas from around the world. The Wedding Bells, they're going to warm us up this week with croquet for that perfect summer wedding.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Wedding Bells.
I just got engaged.
And I did not. We're on an adventure to plan the big day. The vintage theme at weddings is a hot, hot trend. And we all know how Sarah feels about vintage.
I love Betty Draper.
There's something about vintage that gives your wedding day just a little bit extra.
So, we assembled a team. Hair and makeup by Jana Marie Makeup, the use of Kate Montague's fabulous estate, and vintage specialist photographer Aubrey Joy. Whoa, 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 hold on a second.
It's kind of freaking me out because I so rarely meet someone named Aubrey.
Okay, I know that's not what this is about. Let's talk vintage for Sarah's wedding.
For your look, we did something a little more all out.
One of the things you did, I noticed you put a ton of makeup on the top of my eye, like on my eyelid, and then mascara, and I have nothing on the bottom. Is that how my grandma did it?
That's kind of like the 1950s more pin-up look where it's like that really kind of, ooh, right? Like the
Ooh, exactly. Accidentally so cute.
You don't necessarily need to go all out with the really thick eyeliner and a red lip, because also keep in mind that a red lip requires a lot of maintenance.
And of course, Sarah had to get her favorite.
Is it Mad Men?
I would say it's Mad Men.
Ta-da!
And vintage isn't complete without a birdcage veil.
My lips are massive.
Ta-da! I was born in the 50s, I think.
And for a successful shoot, Aubrey suggested,
I like to use props a lot, so I use old frames, old canvases. I always encourage the bride to dress vintagey because that's going to pull everything together. And lean forward. Yep, that's it.
If you use props, then it takes away the anxiety of having the photo taken so you can focus on something else.
Yeah, it always distracts people. You know, they can get excited, they can play with things. And
our team was producing amazing results. But behind the glamorous images,
What's wrong with the thing?
It's broken. My shoe is broken.
Cinderella, this shoe doesn't fit. Push, push, push.
I'd been put in my place.
Bridesmaid.
I've got mud on my hands. This red lipstick. Aubrey got it on her nose.
Well,
Red lip requires a lot of maintenance.
I don't know how I would have survived 50 years ago. My hair and my makeup, I feel so precious.
But they were more composed than we are.
speaking of composed,
I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland. Playing croquet in the lawn.
And she's going crazy, just like the people in Alice in Wonderland.
2, 3, jump.
we were having a lot of fun.
I like this for my wedding, this idea, because both my fiance and I, we love older movies. We love that old era. He loves Skinny Ties and Buddy Holly. It's kind of fun to capture, to look back when you're 80 that you did this.
And why not actually use the props at your wedding?
Weddings can get boring, so give your guests something to do. Game on. Don't screw this up, don't screw this up, don't screw this up.
Okay, we probably shouldn't have a croquet match at the wedding, but it was certain that Sarah was going to have the vintage theme.
Vintage brings out the snarky in her.
For Shaw TV, we're the Wedding Bells.
The Bearfoot Bistro could also help out our wedding bells in the catering department. The new division serves up private dinners and events. You can even try out the Barefoot soups at the Scandinavian Spa. Well, we're just going to hang out here at the Champagne Bar, and we've got more local bites coming your way.
After the break, creative ways to keep warm.
Kick around a soccer ball on the field, which is easy, and play a frisbee until something comes along and bites.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
Artina's handcrafted Canadian jewelry, 387 Water Street in Gastown and Government Street in Victoria.
Welcome back to the Express on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald. And of course, the Bearfoot Bistro is famous for its fine dining. But every afternoon, ski boots make their way in for a casual après set. Don't forget to ask about their oyster special. Next, we're going to head out to Mission and revisit the ancestral home of the Coast Salish First Nations.
travel along with us on the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip as we explore the many marvelous attractions and activities of beautiful British Columbia.
The history of BC goes back a lot further than some of us may know. Let's take a road trip back in time, thousands of years back in time.
Just outside of Mission, about an hour from Vancouver, is a historic First Nations site called Haydom.
In 1990, this land was earmarked for a residential subdivision. The community halted construction when bulldozers unearthed evidence that the Stalo First Nations lived here 5,000 to 9,000 years ago. Today, this longhouse preserves that history and tells their story.
That story has been put together piece by piece using the thousands of artifacts found on site.
We found 40 cobble choppers or an ancient axe head, so we knew they were woodworkers. We found numerous fishing tools and implements, so we knew they were fishermen. We found a number of spearheads and spear points, so we knew they were hunting.
Other clues were round stones used in games, ochre for ceremonial and artistic use, boiling stones for cooking, and obsidian from Oregon, which shows they were trading.
We're finding here a very complex culture at 6,000 years.
Haydom has also recreated the way the Stalo once lived, in underground homes reinforced with cedar timbers.
In these pit houses where people used to live, we used to call them our winter dwellings. In the summertime, we lived in our longhouse, and in the wintertime, we'd move into our winter dwellings. We've put some furs up on the wall to show the examples of what we might have used. We would use them for blankets, we would use them for ceremony.
The heart of Haydom is the transformer stone, which is central to Stalo spirituality. It is referred to as a lesson on the landscape, one the Stalo still use today and consider sacred.
So they say that some people, if you're in tune spiritually, you can hear a song still coming from the rock.
There are several interactive exhibits at Haydom to give you an idea of what life was like here several thousand years ago. You can learn to weave, pound out cedar to soften it for clothing, and even carve your own canoe.
Ho, 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 hey, ho, ho.
Every visitor to Haydom will be welcomed with drumming and song, passing through a colorful art gallery and gift shop. They will leave with new knowledge of a rich and ancient culture whose story was almost never told. In Mission, I'm Kendall Harris for Shaw TV.
Entertaining and informative, the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip. Weekends on Shaw TV. Always something new and exciting.
If you want to learn more about our own neighboring First Nations, drop by the Squamish-Leewak Cultural Centre. Admission is by donation on Sundays. And they also have a new menu at the cafe. Our next story, it serves up fish.
Later on in the show, drilling out a winter passion.
Another unusual sight you don't see every day, a bobsleigh in a wine cellar. Guests here at the Bearfoot Bistro can put on a helmet and get their picture taken in the bobsleigh for $50. All proceeds benefit the youth programs at the Whistler Sliding Centre. I know two other nonprofits that are always in need. Donations are always welcome at the Squamish SPCA and Wagon Whistler.
Welcome to Wagon Whistler. This is Itty. He's up for adoption. He and his little brother over here are a great tag team. They like to play all day and sleep all night, which is kind of nice for a cat. If you're looking for either a pair or just a single cat, give us a call at WAG. This is Brucey. He's up for adoption. He is about 4 months old. He came to us as a surrender. He's got a lovely temperament, full of energy. If you are an active person and you're ready for some challenges ahead of you, such as potty training and regular dog obedience, you're in for a treat. This fellow's a real sweetie and he loves to snuggle. Come and look for Brucey if you're looking for a dog.
Hi, and thanks for visiting the Squamish SPCA. Here are some available animals we have for adoption. This is Uno. She is a 6-month-old spayed female. She's a special needs kitten. She needs a specifically indoor home. She had major surgery on her back leg. She runs around, she plays crazy. She'd love a home with a dog. She loves dogs. This is Indy. She is about 9 weeks old. She's a spayed female, up to date with her vaccines and deworming. She's going to probably mature mid to large size, 50 to 60 pounds. Breed is anybody's guess. She's very, very mixed, but she's wonderful temperament and would make a great family dog.
Love pets, love animals. The SPCA and WAG are always looking for volunteers to care for the Sea to Sky's cutest residents. It's Spay and Neuter Awareness Month. It's hip to snip, so do your part in helping reduce the pet population. Did you know that the owner of the Bearfoot Bistro, Andre St. Jacques, is the Guinness World Record holder for savoring the most bottles of champagne in 1 minute? It looks like he has a lot of bottles to practice on. Our next story is also served on ice. Ice fishing. It doesn't get any more Canadian than this.
Up here in Whistler, there's opportunity in 3 out of the 5 lakes that we have that you can actually come out and catch a fish for dinner.
And today I'm at Whistler's Neater Lake with trout country fishing guides Jeff Gerhardt on hand to teach me the techniques of ice fishing. And step 1, to make a hole in the ice like this.
Well, you need this trusty ice auger here. It's got some blades on it and it cuts through the snow or through the ice really quickly. These little spinning rods here, they're specially made for ice fishing. They're not little kids rods, but just for nice and short. And a little bit of knowledge of the lakes where the fish in the wintertime will be hanging around.
And with expert knowledge, the right equipment, and of course a comfy chair, I'm all set for a fresh catch of rainbow trout for dinner.
For ice fishing, we do use bait, but you can also use rubber lures. Little steel lures like this one here. There's a couple of different styles of jigging. Nothing too crazy, but you can just let it sit and then up, drop it down, wait, and then up again.
Seems simple enough, but there's more to this Canadian winter sport than just catching the fish.
Some people think it may be way too cold to do this, but it's actually probably, I'd say, as warm as it is to go skiing. It's just quiet and peaceful, and you can have a really good time with the friends and family. You can kick around a soccer ball on the field, which is easy, and play a frisbee until something comes along and bites.
Keeping the fishing fun and warm, but make sure you do rug up with warm clothing and waterproof boots, and always remember to test conditions before venturing onto any frozen lakes.
The rule is that 3 inches or more are safe.
No luck yet, but it is my first experience of ice fishing, and what better way to enjoy the lakes in the winter than to come out here, enjoy the scenery, and wait for that big one to bite. Oh.
Success rate's pretty high. Anybody could come out and do this. Instead of sitting in the hotel room, come on outside and enjoy the clean air and some good company and the company of a fish, hopefully.
Unfortunately, no company of a fish for dinner tonight, but it's all about the experience. In Whistler, I'm Alana Ponsonby for The Express.
When the ice thaws, Trout Country Fish Guides also host heli fishing. There's so much to do here in the Sea to Sky, inside and out. Athlete registration in separate categories for snowboarders and skiers, males and females, and adults and youth begins at 5 p.m. at Showcase. Between Shifts Theatre presents The Princess Bride at the Brackendale Art Gallery. The Bearfoot Bistro has discovered its own inner Princess Bride. It's largely a fantasy world filled with giants and surprises around every corner. And of course, everything is as you wish. And that wraps up this week's show. If you'd like to see your story idea on The Express, drop us a line at seatedskyexpress@shaw.ca. You can get our show on YouTube now. Just search Shaw TV Whistler. Join us next week. It's going to be hot and spicy in Squamish. So until then, from all of us on Shaw TV, thanks for watching.
Nicole Fitzgerald's wardrobe provided by Peak Performance, hairstyling by the Loft Salon, and makeup provided by Beauty Mark. While filming on the mountain, parking provided by the Fire Rock Lounge.